Now that I have my pages set up, I'm going to begin to modify each page to be what I would like it to be. So I'm going to move classification back out of the subpage, but I am going to go to ecosystems. And remember, if I have a subpage, right now I'm modifying the ecosystems section. If I wanted to modify the subpage, I would choose that subpage. So I'm going to stay with ecosystems. I'm going to add a few things to this page, starting with some text. Remember, I can do that one of two ways. I can choose Insert Text Box, or I can double click for the wheel to come up and I would choose text. So I'm going to choose text, and we'll look at how we can modify, change, and manipulate the text that is in a page. So I already have ecosystems as my title, and I'm going to type a generic sentence in here as far as ecosystems. There are many different types of ecosystems in the world. Very generic statement. So now I'm going to highlight the whole thing and change the alignment to the right, and maybe I want to change the head to a heading so it's a little bit larger font. But when I did that, you'll see that the spacing is a little off. So you can grab the blue dot on either side, click, and drag to change the size of that font box. So let's say that I want it to be like this. What I've now done is I've created a section in which I can add, change, or use another piece. So if I wanted to add an image here beside the text, I could easily do that. Let's say that I did this, but I don't like the fact that this is a white text box and this is a gray background. Well, I can go over here, change it to emphasis 1, and it eliminates that box. The other thing that I can do with the font is create or add a link if I would like to do that. So if I want to insert a link, you'll see that whatever I have highlighted, so let's say that I have world and I want to insert a link. I have several options for inserting a link to a text, and this also applies to an image. I can either go to a web address and I choose apply. You'll notice that now whenever someone navigates the site, they click on world, it will take them to the Smithsonian. If I want to change that, I have an edit link option or delete. So let's say I want to edit, and instead of going to a website, I wanted that word to navigate me to reptiles. You'll see it says page reptiles. I choose apply. So now if they choose world, it will link them to the reptiles page directly in my site. I can also delete it, and it removes the URL completely from the highlighted text that I have. The other thing that you can do is insert a numbered or bulleted list into your text. So let's say that I wanted to start off, and this is a larger heading that I have. There are many different types of ecosystems in the world, and below that I want to add some more text, but I want to actually create a bulleted list of the different types of ecosystems that exist. So when I do this, I can begin to fill in and share. I can always change my text style, so maybe I want to make this a subheading, but when I do that, I lose the ability to make a numbered or bulleted list. So have to keep in mind, normal text is where you have your font options such as bulleted list, bold, italicized, but the moment you change to one of these pre-created, you're going to lose those options. So just keep that in mind whenever you're navigating or creating. So let's say that I have a bulleted list, and we have these many different types of ecosystems, and I want them to explore these ecosystems. So we have 4 different ecosystems here. I'm going to realign them. Now you notice when I do that though, the bullet stays over here, my words came here. So if you do put in a bulleted list, it does have to stay left justified in the list. But remember, I can resize this box, so I could bring this in and reshape it so that it's this size, and then I could add some images here or anything else I would like to put in. But let's say that I wanted this to be a part of this section. I didn't mean to make it a separate section. I can grab this box, move it up, and drop it in to this area. Now from here, if you want, you can change the location of it that way. You can make it to the right, to the left. You could add an image still. You can still modify and change. But if I want it to be in this section, I can simply go down, drop it in, and it adds a new section for me here. So you can take a text box, move where it is, reorder it, change the size of it, and then if I want to delete it, let's say that I just realized this is not what I want, I can always choose the trash can. It will delete it, and it deletes the section as well. So that is how you can modify and add text on a page, any page at all, including the home page, in the new Google Sites.